Hello punters and welcome to the preview of the Eagle Farm and Morphettville racing. Check out the Randwick and Flemington meetings tomorrow if you haven't seen them already. For this preview here, I'm just going to quickly get into the main races at Eagle Farm and then give you my best bets from Morphettville only. So for me, looking early in the card, I do like number 8 Malahide on top in the first race. I think the step back in class is going to suit really nicely. It's mapped to get a pretty good run. It's got barrier 10, but if you have a look at the speed, I'd say there'll be quite a bit of it and should be able to find a nice spot and really charge home late, and its class will be too good for them. In race number, I did want to touch race number 2. Race number 3, I'm happy to have number 2, Our Mantra on top. I think that this horse is going to get the perfect run of the race. Should sit just outside of high wind. But I'm also going to be having a bit of a bet on high wind at each way odds in that race. So I just think those two will pair off at the front. Not much is going to challenge it. I think they'll be pretty hard to catch. But I'm happy to have number 2, Our Mantra on top in race number 3. Paying $4 and $1.70 at the moment. High wind number 3 as a little saver, $19, $4.60 the place. I think it can run a good. It's a very good place chance to run a nice race. Race number 4, I like this horse resuming number 2 on Unlikely Story for Tony Gallen. The reform in the previous preparation in summer and late spring were really good. Looking at form behind Desert Man and Skate to Paris its last 2 runs. So I think if it returns back to that sort of form, 1,000 metres is sharp, but it's going to get, the speed is going to be really on in this race. A lot of runners will get forward. I think it's going to suit it perfectly. It's going to be able to charge over the top of them to get up at the $4 odds. Race number 5. Now this horse is paying absolutely crazy odds. Ryan Maloney's on board for Anthony Edwards, and I thought his 2 trials coming in were just okay, but this horse, number 3 Lady Horse, I've always had a bit of time for it, the former Greg Urell horse, and last prep, obviously it's had 2 last runnings where it finished 11th and 15th, but prior to that, I mean, you're looking at Group 2 forms of 2-year-old, obviously one in Group 3 being Cross the Abbey and ran in the Blue Dime behind Written By, so this horse, yeah, just a bit of interest, to be honest. If it shows up, it will beat these. I know that's the big query, but $41 and $9 a place to find out. I think that is pretty generous. I'm pretty happy to take that at each way odds. And look at the speed map. I mean, there's a stack of speed, so it's going to get its chance to run on from the back and be in the finish. So I'm happy to have it on top. I do think that in that race, number 14, Holler Back Girl will be hard to beat. But as I said, I'm happy to have the bet on number 3, Lady Horse Owner, resuming for Anthony Edmonds. I just think if it brings its class, it will win this race, and it's paying really good odds to do so. Moving on, race number 7. Now this is the Queensland Cup. Now I'm going to get into this in depth. So listed race, we have to go into it. 3,200 metres. Look at the speed map here. I'd say Social Element will get to the front like it did last time out. Samson and Travesty, Hunts Pride might be forward, Hang might use that inside barrier, but I don't see there being a stack of speed in this race. So I want to be backing something that's close to the speed. I think number 1 Yogi's a little bit short when it's going to have to come from the back more than likely. So I'm happy to have number 4 Santa Boy on top. Now this horse last time out, just apologies. Because I said, look, I mentioned that there's a bit of class in this race. Obviously, Yogi is the class runner of the race, and you could back him on class alone, but for me, I just think it's going to be too far back with maybe not a whole lot of speed in it. I've just got to ask a bit of a question there. Whereas I think Southampton Boy, now this horse for Chris Lees is really up and coming, and it's Larry Cassidy will be in the saddle. This, of course, horse has come across from Great Britain, a race in France over there as well. It will get the distance. It has run 3,600 metres over there in a Group 2, so it'll get through the going, no worries. And I thought its last run behind Igram was really good. It was coming home well late. And I think the step up 3,200 metres, 4th up, rock hard fit, comes back on top of the ground, so it's back off the heavy into the good going or potentially soft, but more than likely the good going. So this horse, I think, it's going to suit it down to the bone, and I think it's really nice each way. So I'm happy to have it on top. To beat number 6 Dukan, who of course was beaten by 0 last time out, but I think it can turn the tables on it, coming back on top of the ground. Number 5 is 0 No Knock in for third. As I mentioned, beat Dukan well last time out, comes back on top of the ground, which I think might suit Dukan a little bit better. So I'm happy to have it in there. And number 1, Yoga. Look, can't leave it out on class alone, but for me, second up 3,200 metres is a bit interesting. But Kira Murray used to decide to take it up there. They clearly had this in mind, so I'm happy to leave it in based off its class, because if it shows its class, it'll win this race. But $2.90 for 60, carrying 60 kilos and not of speed in the race, I think a little bit of a query. So let's recap the Queensland Cup 3,200 metre listed race. Number 4, Soutner Boy on top. I think it's just the most progressive horse coming into this. Number 6, Dukan in for second. In for third, number 5, Azuro. In for fourth, number 1, Yogi. Race number 8, this is the Sky Racing Tattersalls Mile over the mile. Well, of course, it's the Tattersalls Mile, so of course it's going to be over the mile. Listed race. Looking at this, Bell's Choice Magnify, they look to be the only two clear-cut leaders. And as a result, I just thought that maybe number 3, Bell's Choice, was a bit of overs. Look, it was a little bit disappointing never came on at Sandown Lakeside track last time out. It's having its first run for new trainer Billy Healy, and but prior to that, it was 2-point lengths off Waging War. I think that form is really good to take into this race, so happy to have it on top at $17 odds. I think that's really generous, and it's a nice way to go about it. And for second, I like number 5, Silvera. Got a bit of time this horse. I think it's got a lot of ability. Won well last time out at Rockhampton in an open race there, and prior to that was just beaten by Queen of Kingston when it charged home late. Fourth up now, Rock Hard Fit. Gets out in distance, stays at the mile, so I'm probably just waiting till it gets that 800 to the 2,000 metres, but I still think it'll run a nice race. In the third, I like number 7, Magnu Fighter. Now this horse, as I mentioned before, will be on pace. It was only 1.7 length last time out at Doomben behind Snitch. A really good run on that occasion, comes back on top. It's on the good. Sorry, I'll try it again. In the good track conditions, I think this horse will just get the perfect run of the race, and it'll be going all the way with Bell's Choice to the finish. In for fourth, light number 10, Await the Stars. I like the way this horse ran last time out. It was just beaten by Gold Ambition on that occasion, but I think it can turn the tables on it. So happy to have it in for fourth. So recapping the numbers on race number 8 at Eagle Farm, the Tattersalls Mile. I do like number 3, Bell's Choice, with some nice odds on top to beat number 5, Silvera in for second. In for third, number 7, Magnu Fighter. And in for fourth, number 10, Awake the Stars. Race number 9, this is the 3-year-old race over 600 metres. A lot of speed in this. Now, I'm not going into this one in full, but I do like number 14, Adokar. I think this horse would be able to utilise the inside barrier. It's only carrying 52 kilos with Bailey Northdurf's 2 kilo claim. Last time out, it was only just beaten by Coastal Prince and on that occasion was extremely well backed. This horse, it was backed right in from big into $2.50 and favourite. It was only just nudged down that occasion, but I think off the inside barrier, this horse just paying massive overs, and I'm happy to have it in on top at $19. So recapping at Eagle Farm, look, my best on the card is probably race number, where is it? Race number 4, number 2, Unlikely Story. I'm pretty keen to have it on top, and I'm also like race number 3, number 2, Our Mantra. So that was race number 3, number 2, Our Mantra at $4, and race number 4, number 2, Unlikely Story. Had some nice odds. Number 3, Lady Horse Owner. As I said, if it shows up and shows her best, she could blow these out of the water at nice odds. Also do like Soutner Boy in the Cup at $7.50, $2.30 the place. I think that's quite nice to take. And I also, as I mentioned, do like number 3, Bell's Choice, and number 14, Adokar. So I've got a lot of value with this meeting up there at Eagle Farm. So hopefully we can bag 1 or 2 of them and we'll be absolutely laughing. Now going down to Morphettville, as I mentioned, I'm just going to mention my best and value for that card. I do like in race number 2, number 5, Indiscretion for Phil Stokes. I think this horse has been building up towards something. Last time out was really well backed into favourite. Was beaten by Mayozzi. That chance on the Lakeside track just came under the pump and never really responded. But prior to that, it was a really good run where it was just beaten by Excused on that occasion. And look, I'm happy to have it on top here in this race. I just see it getting a nice run in the race. A little bit of a query about this horse out of Zoo Staff on debut for Tony McAvoy's Zula. So I really want to keep an eye on the betting for that. But look, I'm going to stick with Indiscretion, but with a bit of a watch on Zula with Raquel Clark in the saddle in race number 2. Race number 3, nothing too much in that race for me. I think Morning Sea was a little bit short. Race number 5, I do think number 2, Flying Corrupt. I think this horse will get its chance here. It's going to have all the time on pace. The only thing is it's on a soft 6 track and it hasn't got good soft stats. So I'm just waiting to see whether to back it or not. I'm waiting to see if it comes back onto a soft 5 or potentially a good 4. I'm not really too sure. I'm just sort of having a bit of a dig at that one. But for me, I do think that it's going to have its chance. It would sit just outside the leader, which I'd suggest, based off the speed map, will probably be Tristano or Polar Vortex. Might even find the front Flying Corrupt. So I think I'll give a good kick and be hard to run down. In race number 6, this horse paying a bit of odds. Number 1, Cashed, each way odds. I thought it was a really good run last time out behind Columbia. It really charged home late on the heavy track. It comes back onto a soft going, which I think it suits it a lot better. Obviously, if we're getting the good sort of zone, we'll be looking nicer. But before that run last time out, it beat Takia Time at huge odds, and that was a really good win. I think this horse is just low key flying, and $8.50 for this horse, and $3.40 the place. Sorry, there's no third dividend in that race, so keep an eye on that. But I just think that's massive overs for this race, where there's a lot of speed on in race number 6. Race number 7, I do like number 2, Super Swoop, to go and score its 5th win in a row. It went 4 in a row last time out, beating Sasco. We'll get a bit of a read on that form when it runs at Flemington. And look, this horse, if it stays, loves the wet going, and it's going to get that. If we get up into the good range, which is highly doubtable, I'd say maybe soft 5 at the highest. Might look may not look to take the $2.50, but as of right now, I'm really happy to take it. I think the form round, it's really good, and it's absolutely flying at the moment. Race number 8, I do like number 1, and Mr. Hamilton. Now, this horse was a bit disappointing last time out as a favourite when it was beaten by Irish Mint, but on to first up, it was really good when it carried 61 kilos, beating Wynn's Snipper. I just think this horse can return to form here. It's never missed a place this track. I'm happy to take $4.20 for the win. Bit of a query about number 6, Raging Queen, for Phil Stokes. I think he's got a nice hand. This horse raced in some good company last prep, but I just think maybe first up over the 1250 metres might just be a little bit sharper. We'll wait and see on that one. So just to recap, Morphettville, I do like race number 2, number 5, Indiscretion. As I said, bit of a market watch on number 6, Zula, for Tony McAvoy on debut. In race number 5, I like number 2, Flying Corrupt, at $3.50. The each way play, which we won't get a third dividend on, is number 1, Cashed, in race number 6, paying $8.50 at the moment. Race number 7, I do like number 2, Super Swoop. And I'm going to leave out Mr. Hamilton. Look, I think it will a really good chance to win, but I just won't put in my best bets. So they're my best bets and value for the cards tomorrow at Eagle Farm and Morphettville. Go and check out my Ram Week and Flemington previews if you haven't already. And good luck tomorrow, and happy punting.